Hello everybody, and welcome back to Rain Check. We are still here with Slate, the most handsome of gators. He is still good. He is still very good looking, right? It's not it's not just me being easy, right? It's just he just is this way, right? I think so. We're gonna have lunch with him, I think. We are a hungry Tigor, so we're gonna go do that, right? Have a seat wherever you like. A kitchen? This looks more like an eating area. He gestures to a few couches scattered around the place. Oh, okay. Then pulls something out of the fridge and switches on the TV that's hung up on the wall. Here, hope you don't mind some leftovers. He tosses me a half-eaten sandwich wrapped in plastic. Thanks. I peel off the plastic and hesitate before taking a bite. But when I do, I realize it's actually not half bad. Look at that. The gator shakes his head at the screen. There's some kind of news broadcast currently playing. That Castleton's at it again, huh? When will that old mutt learn enough is enough? One of these days, someone's going to kick him out of office. Hopefully, it's right around the corner. So, you're caught up with the rumors too, then? I know bits and pieces since I got here. Got here? Where are you from, son? Out of town, on the other side of the country, actually. Oh, that makes sense. You act nothing like a local, son. Well, you're gonna have one hell of a story when you get back. Doubt anyone will believe you, though. Wait, you're not worried I'll tell people what happened? Assuming we don't kill you or hold you for ransom. No, not really. We have ways of finding out. Trust me. Oh. My heart skips a beat. He sounds like he's joking, but that glint in his eyes doesn't exactly scream just kidding. Maybe it's best to avoid mentioning my release. I don't need the reminder that I'm just one text message away from Slate ending my life. So, Slate, sir? Slate is fine. Right, Slate, about Christopher, Locke? I'm guessing he doesn't work for Blackout, does he? Oh, look at you, even being held captive. You're still so keen on asking questions. He walks over and leans in closer, until our faces are nearly touching. Oh. I respect your moxie, son. You know what? I'll make you a deal. I'll tell you what you want to know about Blackout, but after your fox friend finds Magnus, I'm going to need you guys to give me something. Give you something? I don't know if we have anything Blackout would want. Not to Blackout. To me, specifically. And it's information I want, so don't give me that look, son. I'm not going to harvest your organs and sell them on the black market. But what if we don't have the info you want? Unlike Helix, I know Ark's reputation, and I also know for a fact that they're archiving the missing bit I'm looking for. Right. Trading information. That might be useful, but I don't know if I'm in a position to make any decisions like that. So, what do you say? Got ourselves a deal? I don't know. Maybe I should ask Javier first. And why would you need to bother with that? Ark's been known to negotiate terms like this in the past. Besides, I doubt your friend wants to be interrupted while he's on such a crucial task anyway. I guess not. This could be a trap, but what choice do I have? Information is power, and right now, I need all the power I can get. Sure. It's a deal then. He gives me a wink before grabbing my paw and gives me a firm shake. His scales rough against my fur.
Glad to know you have some common sense. I could use a break from lab work anyway.
He pulls up a chair and sits on it backwards, facing me attentively.
Now, I guess I should get started on the first thing that Blackout is not. We're not a cult, we don't traffic people, and we don't run a drug cartel. Like I said earlier, Blackout's always been a research company. Still is.
A chemical
synthesis, genome splicing, anti-aging therapy. Those are just a few of the things we're dabbling in the past. You follow me so far?
I nod, and Slate takes on a more serious demeanor.
Like any normal scientist-based company, we got funding from our doing research. When there's no research, the inventors leave. There was an incident a few years ago where all of our latest researchers got stolen.
Research got stolen, sorry.
Stolen? You hear me right, and it set us back so much, we were on the verge of bankruptcy. That is until our boss bought us out.
Boss? You don't mean the same tiger from earlier?
That's right. He's the sole reason why we're still operating to this day.
That part makes sense, but what about now? What are you guys doing at the power plant?
Power plant? Oh, you must be referring to Helix's division.
He squints and shakes his head disapprovingly.
You were there with the ARC earlier this week, I reckon, then.
Yeah, I got texts telling me to go there.
Yeah, of course you did. Now remind me again, what was this, before or after our men left?
The texts were before. We also went there after they left.
Long story short, we were using the abandoned power plant to power some of our experiments.
Right, that makes sense. But why so suddenly? Were you guys being followed? We saw a lot of equipment and things just left out in the open, and when I went back the second time...
Second time? This must be when Helix forgot to extract our logs from the computer. You see, we were tipped off that someone might be spying on us, and worried it might have been the architects.
Architects?
No. You see, son, there's a lot more about the city than you and your friends, or even Ark would know. No one knows much about them, but whatever's out there, it's enough to make us take precautions. Some say they're just a myth, but when you're up against a ghost that leaves no trace, you start paying attention to whispers.
He pauses, his eyes narrowing slightly.
Could be just a story, or maybe they're just the real deal. Either way, we weren't taking chances when we heard they might be sniffing around.
Well, who are they? What do they do? He chuckles darkly.
To be honest, I'd tell you if I knew, but no one knows anything about them. Although, there was that one thing that happened with Castleton long ago. They weren't any good explanations for it, so some people suspected it was the workings of the architects.
What happened? His face becomes more serious.
He died.
Died?
Or well, he should have with how his initial autopsy report was presented. But obviously that's not the case if the reporters keep talking about him, now is it?
What do you mean he died?
My memory's a bit fuzzy, but I remember reading that he got into a car accident on the top half of the car, was sliced off cleanly. His car ran straight into the 18-wheeler. But not even a day later, it was confirmed that he had made a miraculous full recovery.
Are you saying the architect covered this up?
or something? Not me. That's just what people said back then. Whoa. So, they've been around for a while? That's true. They come and go, and it's been a while since they last did anything. But lately, whispers about them have been picking back up. Whispers about what? Depends on who you ask.
He leans back slightly, is seeming to weigh how much to reveal.
I've heard some people say they were involved in the terrorist attack 4 decades ago. No proof, of course, but the timing fits just too well. Others think they're an offshoot of the What is this? The Freemasons, operating in the shadows even longer than we thought. That's crazy! Not really. People make up stories when your group is secretive. I've already been hearing rumors crop up about Blackout. What are people saying?
The gator scoffs and sneers at me.
Huh. Why don't you tell me?
Oh, right. We thought you had something to do with the production of Skeleton.
Far from it. We're trying to do good, even if we have some ruthless ways of achieving that.
So, let me see if I have this straight. Blackout's a research company that uses dirty tactics to get what they want, but you guys are ultimately good?
Huh. Guess you hit the nail on the head. Although, the dirty tactics part is usually planned out by Helix. After all, he was brought in by the boss when the company was reconstructed.
I stare at the gator's muscles and tattoos skeptically.
Look all you want, but that's the truth. I mainly do the blueprints and designs around here.
Oh, I mean, you're looking good while doing it, so, you know, it's...
And what does Helix do? He's the chief intel, so everything else.
Wait, Helix does the research too? I thought he was more operational.
Even the research, son.
A thought suddenly pops in my mind as I try to process what Slate has just told me.
Wait, back to the architects. Why would you guys suspect they'd be the ones spying on you if there's not even a lot known about them? I'd have to ask Helix, but he said something about how the cameras were all jamming, and the control room suddenly detected a large burst of signals.
That might have been Javier and I. The gator stares at me, bewildered. Look at this guy.
Well, call me a fool. That would explain it then. That paranoid cat, always worried about the architects targeting us, when it was just you and your friends snooping around. But if that's true, you've caused us some setbacks with your meddling.
He shrugs and relaxes his body, opposite of what I'd expect he'd do.
Though, that was ultimately Helix's call to make, and I'll gladly keep it to myself as long as I get the info I need from Ark.
Yeah, of course.
Good. Now if there's no further questions, I'm going to...
He pulls out his phone and holds up a finger, signaling me to wait.
Slade speaking. Of course.
He hangs up and stares at me, expressionless.
Just letting you know. I just got a call about Magnus.
Panic raises and my stomach lurches with anxiety.
Right. How's that coming along?
He suddenly smiles and nods slowly.
Good. Sounds like they're on their way to the meeting. Their way to meeting him now.
I let out a huge sigh of relief. Javier, I don't know how you did it, but thank God.
In the meantime, I'd like to check up on that damn cat. It's been awfully quiet, and I'd expect him to come in here by now. You think he's still mad at me? Do you? He most certainly still is. Now sit tight, 'cause I'm locking you in here. Bathroom's in the back if you need it.
Wait! Just like that, the large gator disappears out the door in a rush, leaving me alone with my thoughts, then pounding in my heart. I take a deep breath, fighting the raising panic. Come on, Javier, please find Magnus. I need you to pull this off. I don't want to die. I tug at my collar and fidget with the bit flipper in my paw, trying to keep still once one of the lions wraps up his cell phone call around the lobby. So we are the Javier. That's fun. That's a fun time, right? The other one is closer, standing nearby, keeping the watchful eye on me. Ugh, what a mess I've gotten myself into.
Fox!
The lion calls out to me from behind, and I continue staring ahead of at the one making the phone call. Yes.
How do you know Magnus is here?
I hesitate, carefully forming my words so as not to expose my bluff. I know.
You say you know, but you weren't able to contact him earlier in the car.
I don't have his contact information, but he told me he was staying here the other day. The other, slightly taller lion from across the room hangs up the call and approaches over, waving me down.
I've called the necessary people. We can continue on. Lead the way to Magnus.
I roll my eyes at the large buffoon, and stroll over to the elevator. I don't have to wait long before one arrives, and as I step inside, I notice the lions blocking anyone else from entering, leaving just the three of us in the elevator.
What floor?
65. My paw starts to clam up, with the thought of Magnus not being there, but this is the best shot I have. He specifically brought me here that night, and I'm almost certain he told me he had unfinished business to discuss. In the case he's not here, I need to stall, and most likely need to ask someone there if they know where Magnus is.
Step out, we're here.
A short, ugly-looking lion tries to grab my arm. Okay, sure, but I swat his paw away, causing the other lion to chuckle. Don't touch me, I know. Like I said on the way here, I would greatly appreciate if the two of you let me act autonomously. The two lions exchange looks of annoyance before gesturing me down the hall.
Whatever you say, just get us to Magnus. Remember that you got until the end of the day. Boss's orders.
Yes, I know. You two have told me this countless times already. I suggest you stop being so controlling, and let me focus on finding Magnus. Or would you rather have my failure be attributed to the both of you? I'm about to continue on my rant as these idiots when I spot a hefty-looking bear step out of one of the rooms in the hall.
What's going on here? Is this supposed to help us find Magnus?
Shut your mouth, and let me do the talking. I approach the fine-suited bear, carefully making sure my words reach only him. The two well-dressed gentlemen behind me are my bodyguards. Please, be careful with your words. The bear looks at us unexpectedly before regaining composure. Anyways, do you happen to know where I can find the conference suite? He examines my attire and sizes me up, then stares at the lions behind me.
The conference suite? It's just down the hall, but there's no planned meeting today. But you, I don't recognize you. What's your name?
Javier.
I'm going to ask for some ID. I don't remember seeing a Javier written on the list.
That's because I was brought in by Magnus the other night to legally witness the formal contract he had been a part of. Here. I pull out my ID and show it to the bear before putting it back. There's no point in showing this to you when I doubt you'll find me on the list.
I'm afraid I can't let you in then. Not unless Magnus brings you along as well.
Damn it. I was so close. There's a small tap on my shoulder and I turn to see one of the lions leaning over me.
Hey, I thought you said you were able to get Magnus.
Yes, I will. I'm working on it, can't you see?
How can you find him if you need him to get in? Is there a problem, gentlemen?
No, not at all. I guess it's time to switch to plan B. Hopefully these idiots know how to play along. In fact, we were just...
Our fox buddy here needs to find Magnus, and you're getting in the way.
I facepalm and smack my head in frustration. Please, pay no attention to this man. It's his first week on the job.
Sir, I'm going to have to ask you to leave this... for asking you three to leave if you're not accompanied by someone on the list. We can't just let people in as this entire floor and above are fully...
Yes, I am well aware.
Hey. It's you!
Oh, that shrill voice. Oh, wait, is it David? Is it David? Can it be? There's no way he'd be here. It's Davey! Look at this little guy. He's pretty cute. You can just, like, bop him right on the forehead. I turn around and spot the unmistakable blue jacket and large antlers rushing down the hall straight at me. Hey, so it is you! You're that friend of Mr. Gardner Theodore, the red fox with the big round glasses. Wait, don't tell me. I think I remember your name. It was Rover, right? Javier. Oh, I was so close. Now here's a face I thought I'd never want to see again. Wait, what's he doing here? Anyways. Hey, cool! I see you also have 2 bodyguards with you. He suddenly takes out his camera and takes a photo of us. Excuse me? I wanted to remember this moment. Plus, your bodyguards look so cool behind you. Maybe I'll call the photographer. Wait, I'll call the photograph 2 imposing lions. I didn't know you were important to have these bodyguards. Yes. My face lights up as I suddenly formulate a plan. Hopefully this works. Never mind my bodyguards. What are you doing here? Oh, me? I got bored. It's always the same people talking about the same stuff in there, so I've just been wandering around the floor. That's when I heard talking out here, so I went to check it out. Interesting. So he's also here, probably with his father. I see. But isn't the conference suite empty today? What's your dad doing here? Unless... Oh, my dad's just having his usual private meetings with his friends and staff in his room at the moment. His room? What do you mean by that? You know, about the company, earnings, all the normal stuff that old people normally talk about. I wonder if I can leverage this to my advantage somehow. I was wondering if you could convince the security here to let us in. I'm right here, you know. Oh, is he giving you a hard time? The bear stammers, looking visibly embarrassed.
Well, no, I was just doing my job. This gentleman here was looking to enter, but his name isn't on the list.
Oh, really? You're not on the list? No, I'm not. Can't we make an exception for Mr. Javier? This one time.
Well, if you know him, I suppose it's okay.
Hooray! You guys can come follow me. I'll take you to the conference suite. The lions. I hear the lion snicker behind me as we follow along. What a joy this man is. Well, here we are. Huh, there's nobody here around but us. Strange.
Your bodyguards won't be able to stay inside for security reasons, but they're more than welcome to hang outside in the lounge.
Unfortunately, it's one of Dad's rules.
Hey, wait! That wasn't part of the deal.
The other lion holds him back.
Now, don't be hasty. We managed to get inside, and it's not like the fox has anywhere to go.
They notice me listening and begin muttering before dismissing me nonchalantly.
We'll be here. Don't try anything funny.
The bear gives us a suspicious look as he escorts the two idiots out, and I try my best to ignore it. Well, your bodyguards sure look tough and spooky. But not as much as the wolf that was with you before, though.
What?
You know, the big wolf guy with the strong muscles. I forgot their name, but he was with you and Mr. Theodore when we were at the storage room. He tries to mime someone tackling down a door, making me facepalm and shake my head.
Ah, you mean Ro? Yes, those two idiots are nothing like him.
He chuckles, and then scratches his head and frowns. If there were a particular reason you need to be here, Mr. Javier, I thought Mr. Theodore would have been with you. Or that you had someone waiting here for you.
No, I should have been more clear earlier. I'm actually looking for someone that might be here.
Really? Why didn't you mention that earlier? I love a good scavenger hunt.
It was more convenient for me to omit that.
I don't really understand what you mean, but if it's someone here, I might be able to help. So, who is it?
I'm not sure if they're still here or not, but if you know where I can find Magnus. I came to this exact room a few nights ago with him for a business meeting. I don't know at the time that this floor belonged to you, but that would make more sense now. Although I don't see your father at the meeting.
I stop talking and stare at David, who seems to have lost in thought, not paying attention to me anymore. I'm sorry, I don't think I know any Magnus. What do they look like?
They're a large Arctic fox, about the size of...
Oh! David's face lights up and starts waving his arms in the air. You mean Big Gus?
Big Gus?
Yeah, that's what I've been calling him since I was little.
Excuse me?
Talk about a small world. How do you know Big Gus?
It's a long story, one I prefer not to delve into at the moment.
Okay, but if you're looking for him, I think he's still in the other room at the moment. My eyes widen and a mountain of pressure seems to disappear off my back.
He's here?
Yeah, he's one of the people that my dad wanted to talk to. They're probably still discussing business though, but I could check for you.
Yes, go. This is rather, urgent.
Okay, wait here. The reindeer runs out of the room before I even get a chance to clarify myself. Might as well take this moment to see if I can find anything useful. I pull up the bit flipper and slowly pan around the room. Actually, wait a minute. I will end the part here, everyone. So I hope you've all enjoyed, and I'll see you guys around.
Hello everybody, and welcome back
to Rain Check. We are Javier today, and we're doing the exploring. We're trying to find Magnus. We met David again. We all love David here, right? Here, let me adjust my microphone real quick. I should have done this before hitting record. But you know how I am. I'm bad at things. So it is okay. We're doing it. Might as well take this time to see if I can find anything useful. I pull out my bit flipper and slowly pan it around the room. I knew it. There's at least 8 hidden cameras in here. The closest one being under the desk, right behind me. Beside me, sorry. Let's just disable all of these unwanted cameras first. There. I trace my digits along the underside of the table until I feel a small bump, prompting me to slowly pick the camera off. The door suddenly swings open behind me, causing me to stuff the hidden camera into my pocket in a panic. Mr. Javier, I have good news! Magnus is here. Yeah, I managed to pop my head in and I saw he's still here, but they're still talking about business. I let out a sigh of relief. We can wait outside in the lounge. That way we'll see when Magnus comes out. That means I'll have to go back to see those idiots, but it's not like I have a choice. Fine, let's walk outside. We walk over to the sofas, where David flops down and pulls out his phone. I decide to sit across from him, but as I do, I notice the 2 lions watching me, with one of them starting to approach.
What's the situation now? Are you able to get to Magnus?
Yes. We're just waiting for him to finish his meeting. Isn't that right, David? Yep, he's with my dad right now, just a few rooms down. The lions step closer and bend down to whisper something.
I don't know what kind of stunt you're pulling, what you pulled to get in here, but count yourself lucky.
He shoots me a glare before walking back to the other lion. I roll my eyes at the over-necessary theatrics before returning my attention to David. This might be the perfect opportunity to get some more clarification on things. Let's hope he's willing to share. David, what's your relationship with Magnus? Big Gus? He's like an uncle to me. I've known him since I was a kid. Him and my dad have been friends for a while. I'm not sure how my dad met him, though. I never asked, but it seems like they're always meeting up together at least once a month. Sometimes me and my dad even take the private jet to visit Magnus's mansion by the mountains. David flashes a smile before getting engrossed in his phone again. Well, that was easier than expected. If only everyone I questioned was like David. Although I do find his openness a bit off-putting, to say the least. Maybe I should test my theory and see if he's as big of an airhead as he looks. You know, David, if I'm taking up too much of your time, you're free to leave. You don't need to accompany me. I know, but there's nothing to do. And my parents always taught me to be nice around guests and important clients. He motions to the lion standing off to the side, staring at us. And look, you have bodyguards, so you're an important client. I try my best to hide the visual cringe at his logic. And, what if I don't have these bodyguards? I don't know. I still help you, 'cause you're a friend of Mr. Theodore. I guess we're also friends now. He chuckles playfully before tapping on his phone again. Is this some kind of act? It's extremely convincing. Hey, I should ask some questions about you too. What kind of company do you run, Mr. Javier? Company? Better make up something on the spot. I run a boutique intelligence firm specializing in high-stakes global problem-solving. We offer bespoke solutions to some of the most complex security and investigative needs in the world. Our clients range from influential private individuals to multinational corporations seeking discreet and effective resolutions to delicate matters. You could say we deal in information and solutions that most wouldn't even know how to ask for. Wow! That sounds really important and impressive. I'm pretty sure he doesn't understand half of those words. No wonder you're meeting up with Big Gus. You're both business foxes. I elect to conserve my energy and ignore the reindeer. I need to focus on what to say when Magnus shows up. There's too much on the line. The best approach is to be direct and honest. I'll tell him his original contact was late, and that there's clearly some sort of setup. I'll also suggest to avoid the contract he made when I was with him the other night, and redo it with Helix. For whatever intention they might have, I'm not surely sure, but it seems important to block out. And I have a strong hunch that Lawrence is behind all of this somehow. There's a high chance that Lawrence set up at the speakeasy, and if that's the case, the fact that it coincides with Helix's and Magnus's meeting can't be a coincidence. This is all circumstantial for now, but I'll find out soon enough. Oh, Mr. Javier! Yeah? David shakes my arm, causing me to instinctively flinch and recoil it back. Oops, sorry. I didn't mean to startle you, but you were spacing out. I was just trying to get your attention. Well, you have it. What is it? Big Gus is out! I practically jump up out of my seat as as soon as I see Magnus emerge into this room. I watch as David rushes over to greet him. Big Gus! You're finally out of your meeting. There's someone here that's looking for you. David waves me over as I'm still trying to make my way over, with Magnus's eyes lighting up in surprise.
Javier, this is most surprising.
I think that's around like the tone of voice I did for him before.
It's been a hot minute, guys. Did you not say you were not interested in me?
His voice is deep and sultry as he adjusts his robe, but I can't help finding it irritating. He steps out to me and grabs my paw, delivering another greeting kiss again, which I tried not to let bother me. Things are complicated. I came here to talk with you in a professional setting.
Yes, that is acceptable. But what is the reason for the security alliance behind you?
I turn around and roll my eyes when I spot the two idiots, now just several feet behind me. Don't pay attention. Don't pay those buffoons any mind. I need to talk to you about the signing you did the other night.
Yes, the sales deal. What about it?
There was some kind of setup that prevented the original party from meeting with you that night. They've requested I find you again so they can discuss the deal again.
That is most interesting to hear. But I'm afraid that a sign redoing may not go well. The deal is done. It would be difficult to accomplish this task.
Huh? I reach into my pocket and pull out my phone. I'm about to dismiss the call, but I realize the number is coming from the hospital. Sorry, give me a moment to handle this. The phone contacts. Okay, connects, not contacts. Connects! And a frantic nurse can be heard on the other end, talking in the background. Hello? Is this Javier? We're contacting you because your details were still under... Yes, but I'm in the middle of something. Can you please... Sorry, this is rather urgent. It's about your patient, Ro. He's gone. My heart stops. Gone? What do you mean by gone? You don't mean to say that he's disappeared from his room. The authorities have already been contacted as we try and track him down, but he's nowhere to be found. What? We'll keep you updated. In the meantime, please keep a lookout for him. He may have wandered off because of his amnesia. Okay. The nurse keeps talking, but I hang up, feeling like I've heard enough. Magnus cocks his brow in concern.
Are you okay?
Yeah, that sounded serious. I let out a small chuckle and put my phone away, trying to refocus, but it proves harder than I expected. It just, unexpected difficulties at the moment. Ah, like I was saying, I grab Magnus's arm and pull him down slightly, making sure the lions can't hear what I'm about to say. We need to discuss this in private. This is serious.
Understood.
The large fox stands back up and straightens his robes and walks to the conference suite. We'll we'll be talking about some things in private. Okay, have fun. The lion stares me down as I follow Magnus. Hopefully, I can convince him to help. Oh, no. Okay. Okay. This is fine. Oh, look at all these friends. Look at all these guys. Oh. Look at all these contributing lads. Ah. 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 No. We're only 11 minutes in. No. Into this recording anyway. It's okay, I'll just slap it onto the prior episode. I can do that. I have editing software. It's okay. Oh. This was a good update. This was a real good update. We got to see Magnus again. Slate was here. Oh my god, Slate. Why is... I'm not easy. You can't prove anything. It's just you can't prove anything. Okay? It's fine. He's very fine. He's fine, all right. Oh, did you all like this update? Let's build 11. I had a great time. Like I said, it's just so yeah. Tell me what you all thought in the comments. I hope you all had a good time as much as I did. But alright, I don't want to keep this lingering for too much longer. So, I do hope you've all enjoyed, and I will see you guys around. I guess I'll see you when the next build comes out.